Hey guys, welcome to 3 Mississippi. It's Wednesday Night Live. Hello, hello. It is coming a flood, and my computer decided to be cranky, so it wasn't coming on with the camera. And so I had to reboot everything and unplug it and plug it back in and do all the fun things like that. So thank you for being patient. I appreciate you. Hello, Martine. James Hall, hello. Joe Jacobson, hello. Out and about with Dave and Daisy says, hey, everybody. Yes, Ronnie Dowdy, I had a slight technical difficulty. It happens, you know. Cuddly Texan, what's going on? Auntie Ann is in the house. Hello. 32 in and only 19 likes. Don't be a bum. Hit that thumb. That's right, James. You tell him, brother. You tell him. Yes, I was rebooting due to a cranky computer and a cat that apparently wants attention. Hello, Brian from the Vineyard Farmhouse. Good evening. Thank you for that. Let's see what's going on. Ryan Kelly says, hey, y'all. Let's see. David Glunt, hello, hello. What is going on? Barbie says, hi, Sid, and everyone from Glendora, California. How's the weather out there these days? I know y'all in California had a pretty wet winter. So he is a sweet kitty. He's very much a mama's boy, too. So he's all up in my grill sometimes, even when I don't want him to be. Chris says, hello, Glenn and Shannon Salty Life. Howdy, howdy. Jerry Jones, I'm doing pretty well. BNUS Odyssey says, hey, peeps. Jennifer Broughton says, hey, guys. Thunderstick Homestead and Ministry says, hey, Sid. Anthony says, what's up, y'all? Long time no chat. How's Ms. Pony doing? She's doing really well, actually. I feel like we've come a long way. She just had her visit with the farrier this last week and got her pedicure on. And she's been doing really well. Like now that we're in the, fly spray season, I've been working with her prior to that, of course, of like brushing her every day and like touching all of her every day, because she went through this phase where she would let you know that she didn't want you to touch her everywhere every day. So she's been doing much better between getting her used to it and trusting me and doses of Mare Magic. She's like a different horse after that little thing, but she's doing really well. James Hall says, since SLR isn't going live tonight, maybe go check out Full Blown Country with Pretty and Pooch. Oh, are they still out of town? Oh, you know what? That's right, because her niece, yeah, okay. That's right. She's got other things going on. I forgot about that. That's right. Yeah, they would have had to have canceled their live. But on the flip side, according to what Mel had told me, now this means she'll be able to come to Freedom Weekend, because she was kind of on the fence, like if she was going to be able to make it. So that's exciting. Got a finish cutter for the tractor for $200. Works great, but needs a paint job. Doesn't everything need a paint job? I'm telling you. Steve says, hey, Sid, hope you're feeling better. I am. I'm actually doing considerably better. I'm walking and moving around better. If you didn't watch Sippin' and Spillin', today's Sippin' and Spillin', I believe it was, I kind of talked about the physical therapy and how it went. And it was basically a lot of the stuff I was already doing. And they did have me use a couple machines that obviously I don't have at home, but I was already doing those exercises just sans a machine. There's only one machine that's like you push forward and like it tilts you a little bit and you like Superman it. But that was the only thing that I'm like, well, I don't have that at home. But I do go back tomorrow for that another round and see how it goes. But I am feeling much better and still waiting to hear about the orthopedic specialist. So. But that between the anti-inflammatory diet and the steroid pack and being able to move again, I'm just happy I can move around again. So I'm good with that. I'm very good with that. They're at the hospital now. That's right. Yep. They were on Baby Watch, and that was 2 hours ago, so maybe they have a baby now. Okay, good. I didn't know if she had posted that or not, so I didn't want to but yeah, her niece, that was one of the reasons her due date was like June 26th. And so she didn't know if she was going to be able to make it over here for Freedom Weekend because she needed to be there and for Brittany. And so now that Brittany's gone into labor very early, I mean, not like dangerously early or anything, but like early enough that now that should mean that she's able to make it for Freedom Weekend. So that's good news. And it's always good news when there's a baby. So just hoping, yeah, because Charlene, her mom, Mel's mom, had messaged in the group chat that, be praying for Brittany because she's in labor. So that's good news. I love buying old equipment and fixing it up and making it look new, says David Glunt. That is a good project. Good project. Making it home. We sure are looking forward to seeing all the content from Freedom Weekend. I love it. Yep. I love it. I love it. I'm excited about it. I'm stressed because there's a lot to get done around here before that. And it just seems like every week there's something else that gets added to like the life list of things that need done. And then this week the weather is not cooperating for me, which is a problem. Mike was able to do some mowing today when he took a little bit of a break, and Frankie turned some compost, and I filmed a video and I've been working on editing it for Friday's video. I did not get a video out Tuesday, guys. I was so mad about that. The weekend just was a struggle bus and did not get anything really accomplished other than just like real menial tasks. That was like, it was no point in, sorry guys, my hair is a hot mess. I was out in the rain trying to save ducklings, and so my hair, it was a cute ponytail earlier today. Now it sort of looks like, I don't know what it looks like now, but it's kind of a hot mess. I didn't know Brittany was going to make it past the meetup. Well, her due date was June 26th. So she hopefully just got cooked enough in there, the baby. So, Hey, Sid, hope physical therapy works for you. Didn't do anything for me except make me hurt more. Yeah. It was a lot of, like I said, it's a lot of stretches and exercises that I already do in my regular routine. So I was like, it was good to know that I was going in the right direction with that stuff. I had just had to pause from it because everything was so inflamed that I couldn't hardly move. Mike can testify. I was hobbling around like a cripple. Just everything hurt. So I would try to do some basic stretches even, and I was like, I can't. I gotta get like stuck, So now that I can move around again, I'm back to getting some of that stuff in, Greg says, will Bunko be the official greeter? He probably will. He might get a little overwhelmed if there's like a lot of people, and he might kind of go hide a little bit or just like retreat to the porch. But once he kind of settles in a little bit and realizes like, oh, mom's talking to these people and like whatever, he'll probably come and check everybody out. Did you save them, the ducklings? So that remains to be seen. So here's the deal. The mom, for those of you that maybe haven't seen the video, the Muscovy ducklings from the first hatch group, I had already had the brooder set up because I had goslings in there still at the time. And she abandoned the ducklings. Just like she dipped on them. Like as soon as they were fluffed out and she decided, okay, I'm getting up, everybody's hatched, I'm going out into the yard. She just dipped on them. And she would like look at him and kind of do her little broody tail dance, but there was no communication verbally between them. And usually the mamas and the babies are talking to each other back and forth. This was like they had never met. I don't know. It was weird. Anyway, so I scooped all those babies up and threw them in the brooder with the goslings, and the goslings kind of raised the ducklings. Worked like a charm. And they also were with those 2 turkeys that I had in there that were heritage breeds. So those guys are now all out in the run with everybody else because they're feathered out and all that. So not feathered out completely, but enough. They're fine. And so these ducklings just hatched a couple of days ago, and she did the same thing. Same mom. She dipped on them. And they were just living life. And so a couple of them went and hung out with the geese. But the rest of them were kind of scattered. And then they finally got them to realize that, you guys need to hang out together. So at least the ducklings were staying together. But then when this rain came out of nowhere, because it was like overcast, but it was like and hot, but there was not really any rain. There was like a little bit of sprinkles and then it stopped. And then it rained a little bit for like a minute and then it stopped. And then it came a flood. Well, I was just getting home and it was coming a flood. So I ran out there and like made yet another because they won't go up in the coop. I tried to put them in the other little uh, nesting box coop that I have outside for shelter. They kept coming out of it. And I was like, okay. So I gathered them all up and shoved them in there and they seemed to stay. And then I also made like another little like overhang to help keep them dry. We shall see what happens. I can only do so much. I'm not setting up a brooder. There's like 3 other clutches going. I just have to hope that their survival instinct kicks in because it is what it is at this point. So I tried. I went out there in the rain and tried to, get them to go in there. And I did get them to all go in there. But whether or not they'll stay in there during the rain and trying to stay dry is a whole another situation. So we shall see. We shall see what happens. So. Anthony says, David Glunt, I just picked up a 1975 wheel horse D180 with a Johnson 2000 loader, 3-point hitch and PTO. Doo-doo. The hot mess hasn't joined us yet. No, not yet. He said he was coming out for it. I asked him because he popped out here for something and I said, are you joining me for the live? And he said, yeah, but we'll see. I thought that meant like, but maybe not. I don't know. Back to good. What's going on? The picture of the field I sent you got sugar-kissed melons planted in it. Nice. Nice. The massages were really good, Jennifer. I went and got a deep tissue massage the other day. It beat me up a little bit, not gonna lie, but I knew it would. My shoulders, at that stage of where everything was, my shoulders were like knot on knot on knot on knot. And so she spent a lot of time on that. And the rest of my back, the knots were not like what they usually are. And like I said, my bones were hurting. And so she was like, your lower back seems fine. I'm like, yeah, it's skeletal right now. I'm like, that part of my muscles are not freaking out, but my shoulders and this whole area was very cranky. So she worked, and I was sore afterwards for like 2 days, but then it was like, oh wow, I think she got all the knots, but so that was good. Dolores says, hi everyone from Georgia. Gary Bell says, hi Sid from North Carolina. Let's see. Ducks and chickens aren't the sharpest tool in the shed. No, they are not. And normally, here's my thing. These were hatchery ducks. These are not, like the ducks that I had before were like from a line that she had bred that were really good moms that would like stay with the ducklings and defend the ducklings and keep the ducklings dry and warm. These hatchery birds, sometimes they're just like, they have no instinct in them for much other than procreating and beyond that. And they've still been good sitters. I'll give them that. They're still sitting well on their nests, but they're just sort of like, once they've deemed like, oh, this part of the job is done, they're dipping. So like I said, I've got 2 more ducks right now sitting on clutches. I had to take the other eggs from the other clutch out, and I need to go candle them now that they've settled, because another duck was sitting on those, but she was sitting on them outside in the open, and it came a flood, or started to, and she kind of dipped, and so I don't know if they're viable or not. So, and I didn't get a chance to candle them yet, so we'll see. I get 2 deep tissue massages a month. Love them. Oh, that's nice. Are you going to be going back outside for the lives? I might sometimes. It's a lot of times when I'm doing them by myself, it's kind of a pain to drag everything outside and set everything up, and then I got to deal with bugs and So I might sometimes, like if Mike for sure is going to join me, um, but for me to drag everything out there by myself is kind of a pain. And then, like tonight, for example, the weather's not great, number one. And number two, I immediately have to go run and grab Frank. So, which won't be like that every Wednesday, but it is today. So we'll see. But yeah, I'll have to, I might do it a few times, but sometimes it's just hard to drag everything out there, you know, because I got to bring an extension cord out because my laptop doesn't have a battery. And so I got to plug it in and have it running. And then I got to, although I guess I could bring one of the battery packs out there. That's an option. But then I got to plug the light in because then if you're facing with the yard behind you, it looks like you're sitting in the dark. So you have to light the front up. And so, I know I don't know. I got a bunch of bites right here that like they swelled up really bad yesterday, but they've come down and they're not hot like they were last night. But sorry, I just had to. I did. I got ate up the other day, and I have been putting on bug spray diligently, but I don't know I don't know what happened. But I was somebody's snack. I don't know. Um, he, Frankie's at church, and Mike is in his office, hopefully joining us shortly. Quinn Shannon Salty Life says, I've had one deep tissue massage and never again. I was ready to confess to a crime I didn't commit. Yeah, they are intense. They can be intense. And my gal even said, she's like, I'm more trained in prenatal massage, but like I do deep tissue. And so my deep tissue is not considered as intense, which is probably good because like I don't like it when it hurts too much, like when it's too like I get a little like, oh, but David Glunt says, Neil S., it was given to me for cutting up some trees and hauling away. Good deal, good deal. Cuddly Texan says, Auntie Ann, they are smart at things that are usually annoyance to you, like escaping or being where they shouldn't be, right? That's true. Animals are good at that, especially my ducks. Frankie's like, what, do we have yard ducks now? Because that whole group, that whole flock of ducks is still small enough and unbothered by the zapping of the fence. So they've been just kind of scooting through it real fast and hanging out in the yard a little bit. So they'll get to the point where they can't do that anymore. They're close to that, but they're still doing it. But they're not hurting anything. They're just hanging out in front of the coop instead of behind the coop. So it's fine. It's fine. David Glunt says, Anthony, the smaller tractors aren't as hard to find. People get them and they realize they need something bigger, so they get rid of the smaller ones. That's true. I think a lot of people may start out small thinking they're going to upgrade someday. And, Revolution is that itching area. I know my stuff's upstairs. My anti-itch Benadryl stuff. It was fine until I don't know what happened. I must have moved my sweater and it scratched it. And then I was like, sorry. I can't help myself. Frankie yells at me when I scratch at it too. But Southern Bliss Homestead says, hello, everyone made it to the live. I've missed a few. No worries. No worries. You're not being graded. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. She's saying no. I know. I'm telling you. Yeah, when you're told not to scratch, it makes it itch more. That's true too. That's true too. Yeah, I would say so. But yeah, so this week, we did not get as much done as we were hoping this last weekend and this week, because of off and on inclement weather. And then we had some family stuff that we had to do. I shouldn't say had to do. We got to do. And so just kind of made everything crazy, I guess. But it's fine. It's fine. That's one of the reasons why I didn't get a video out Tuesday, because we weren't able to really work on anything that was video worthy. So, but that's okay. It goes that way some weeks. It happens. It happens. So I think this week they were supposed to be able to start doing the trenching so that we could run the water lines this week, but then rain. So that's not happening right now. Um, the there's just been kind of a few things that have not been able to be finished because of then it rained and then we can't do that and then well this still needed done and then so we're kind of having to hop around a little bit because of the weather, which we're getting used to having to do. That's just part of, that's part of it. I am planning on doing some birds this week, getting those into winter camp. Frankie's going to help me with that. I'm going to try to bust through as many as we can. So that is my goal. That is my goal to get those guys done. But it hinges on Mike finishing the chicken plucker. So either maybe tonight or tomorrow night, he'll be able to finish getting the silicone stuff in there so that it's sealed properly so the water doesn't get into the motor. And then Friday, Frankie and I will be able to do birds. So hopefully that's the plan. But we shall see. We shall see what happens. So, watching from Vicksburg, Mississippi. Well, hello, Samuel. It used to be 3 Mississippi. Now it's 1 or 2 sometimes. I know. I feel like it's mostly 1. I feel like it's me a lot, like lately. Not only like in the videos, but if I'm, and then I get comments like if I film Mike and Frankie doing stuff, then it's you don't do anything. Like I can't win. I feel like you guys are sick of seeing me do everything, so like then I'll just focus on them and not show myself as much, and then people are like, you don't do anything. Or if I'm in a situation where I've been hurting and I can't do something, then I don't know. I've decided it's not my job to please the people. I just do what I can do. So let's trade paint says, hello, you beautiful people. Smash that thumb and spread the love. That's right. That's right. I only have 6 acres, so I don't need to do anything bigger. Just need more accessories, but they get expensive. That's true. I mean, you're doing a good job finding good deals on them, through people and Facebook Marketplace kind of stuff. I'm telling you, crack that whip on him. Said he's been working hard, so I can't be too hard on him, Patrick. Can't be too hard on him. And he's had to pick up the slack a little bit because of my back being cranky. There's been some stuff that I'm like, I need you to go move this, or I need you to take this out of my truck, or like they had to bring in the groceries the other day, like stuff like that I would normally just do without thinking. They've had to take care of. So little things, nothing crazy, but it's definitely the last few weeks, all of this has slowed me down. So it's nice that I'm able to speed back up a little bit. I'm still not like they still have to move the chicken tractor because that's still off my list. But for the most part, like I've been able to clean the house. I have to go slow, and by the end of it, I'm starting to hurt because the bending and this movement with the mop and all that starts to get to me. Like I can feel it in my lower back. It starts to get mad, but it's okay. It's fine. So ignore the haters. That's right, Patrick. We do. We ignore the haters. They're gonna hate the game, not the player. That's what they can't hate the player. They can't. So it's all good. Has he got anything done with the electric for the shop? So he did actually. He had to get everything that was like up on the walls and like the shelving and the crates and things that he had. He's gotten those all, I won't say organized, but moved. Some are organized. Some things are organized. And then they were supposed to get a lumber delivery this week to start building the kick plates along the bottom to keep the water out, so he could build that wall for the electric. And we were not able to get that this week because like every afternoon it's been supposed to rain. And so anyway, so that hasn't happened. But he at least got the shop part done that he needed to get done to allow for that to happen. And that's something that once it gets here, he can work on that rain, shine, whatever. So maybe maybe he'll be able to get that done in the next while. We'll see. I mean, I'm not holding my breath on some of it just because there's a few pieces to it, and so I'm like, I don't know if we'll have that done by Freedom Weekend. Um, I feel like that maybe it might have been something that we needed to start like last rainy season to make sure we got it done in time because now there's things outside that need done um, in preparation for, people being here. I mean, we did get the gravel done, so that's good. We did a few other things, but and there's still more to do. Um, but yeah, and I've got to get those birds processed. So maybe we'll get the electrical fixed in the shop. Maybe. I'm not making any promises. We did, however, we got a refrigerator, um, like a bigger refrigerator, for the shop, um, for when that is fixed, because that will allow him to be able to put like his all his produce in there and things like that during the farmers market season, so that it doesn't have to end up, you know, on the kitchen table or overflowing in the other two refrigerators. This is going to be like a dedicated space for that. So hopefully that will be good. Anthony says, Sid, I think I got a roll of conduit in my tire shop at work. If y'all are welcome to it. I will have to ask him if he needs conduit. I imagine he does if he's wiring the shop up, but also I have no idea. But I will definitely pass that along to him. Reduce, reuse, recycle, man. I would, if he needs that, we would be very appreciative of that. That'd be amazing. Big Mike's Adventures just subbed to you for the third time. Hope it sticks after 3 years. Oh my goodness. Don't you love that? I've known it's done that to me too with different channels. And I'm like, why does it take me off of there? I'm telling you. Same thing with like notifications and all of that, I'll notice we'll have like these dips where all of a sudden like nobody's watching and I'm just like, where'd everybody go? And nobody's getting notifications or it's not getting shown on their main screen, their For You page essentially. So that gets a little frustrating, but that's life in the big city. What can I tell you? Just being able to plug fans in the shop will make a big difference. Yeah, for sure. For sure, Auntie Ann. And I mean, he can plug fans and stuff in there now, like small things. But if you go to run like a bigger tool or run too many things at once, it'll be like, it's just drawing too much. It's just cranky. So, I missed something. For everyone that doesn't know, Billy is from the same town that 3 Doors Down is from. I must have missed a previous comment. Needs to get plants in the ground. Very true. Yes. Unfortunately, with the weather being what it's been, that's been a little bit of a struggle bus to finish getting everything in. And there's a couple rows that need some repair after some of the rain and things. And so it's on the list. It's on the list. It is on the list. When's the barn built? The barn has not even been started yet. That is definitely a project we're going to do, but there's some things that we need to do and finish prior to that. But that is something that we will be working on at some point. I just don't know an exact breaking ground date or any of that yet, but it is something we will be doing, just not right this second. Right now our focus is like getting things ready for Freedom Weekend and trying to get as much done to make that go smoothly as possible before it's here. And then obviously like all the other prep, the behind the scenes prep that goes into that. So just trying to get all that done. So glad I never got property down here in Texas. I never have time to do anything but work. All the OT gets me is closer to retirement and land somewhere. There you go, Patrick. It'll get you somewhere. I mean, would you really want to stay in Texas at this point? I don't know. What's up, Dano Picola? MT Homestead is in the house. What is going on, Mike and Terry? I love it. Oh, somehow I got way far behind in comments. I don't know what happened there. Big Mike's Adventures coming in under your other account, being all sneaky. There you go. I am. Thank you, Mr. MT. I am feeling better. Thank you. You at 3 Mississippi at Mississippi? Yes, we are in Mississippi, Samuel. I don't totally understand the question, but yes, we are in Mississippi. We are. We actually changed our channel name shortly after we moved from the West Coast out here. So we are in Mississippi. If I ever get somewhat caught up here, I'm going to build a row builder like y'all's. There you go. There you go. Well, I mean, the order one from Alan, dude. He has the whole kit. You just order the kit and then you put you can either fabricate the panels out of iron or whatever, or use wood. They both work. So however you want to do it. What's a bad wreck up the road? Oh, was a bad wreck on the road up for me. Had life flight land on my front road. Crazy how they can drop those birds in a small area. That is nuts. I used to be amazed. I hope that person's okay. Or people. That sounds bad. But I used to be amazed at, like, you know, the Blue Angels would fly. I know they just put a documentary out on, I think it was Prime or something, but how they could fly so low that it looked like they were just flying in the parking lot, like their wings could touch the ground. They were coming in so low. It's absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. I don't know when the Devo will be out here. I have no idea. I thought he was joining me for the live, so something must have happened and he's not here. So it's just me. Just me, myself, and I being crazy. That's right. Oh, car versus motorcycle. That's never a good thing. Car went into the woods. Oh, that's generally not good. California or Mississippi, your thoughts? Like, as in, which do I prefer? I think overall, I prefer Mississippi. I think when it comes to, like, maybe different options of, like, food, like, there's not, now granted, because of where we live, within an hour I could get to, like, Indian food or sushi or whatever, but it's just not as, like, commonplace as, like, in Southern California. You could go to Korean barbecue in an Indian place down the street, and, you know, you could have, like, any kind of cuisine you wanted. But which is funny because I feel like there's more diversity of people here, but there is more food diversity there, if that makes sense. But overall, everything else, I pick Mississippi. So I'm farm work at Meadville, Franklin Country, Mississippi. Very cool. Very cool. I love it. I see the Blue Angels a couple times a week. Pensacola is their home station. Right on. We used to be, we had them in San Diego for a long time. They were kind of there constantly, and they would do the big show out there and whatever. But then I think at some point they moved them. So I have no idea, or maybe that was just half the year there and half the year there. I don't know. I just know they were there a lot because I'd be like on my lunch break at work, and I'd be like, oh, they're practicing, and they would just fly really low and turn around because I wasn't that far from Miramar. So, you know. Jake Husden. Hi from Waynesboro, Mississippi. What is going on? Liked and shared. Why, thank you, kind sir. Appreciate you. All they need is 100 feet by 100 feet to land that bird. That's right, Billy. They don't need much room at all. It's amazing. When you move to the South, it's a lot to eat Southern. I mean, don't get me wrong. Southern food to me is like comfort food, right? But I don't want to eat heavy comfort food every time I want to go out to eat or every time there's an event or, a get together. It's just too much thickness and like blah. So, yeah, that's all I have to say about that. But it's good food. There's no arguing that. You just can't eat it 24/7. I mean, you can, but I prefer not to. That's my personal take on that. I rather have like a salad or like like a healthier soup option that's not like a cream or Velveeta based soup. Like that's my thing. I don't know. I do like to try to eat healthy, and now I'm really, really doing that because I'm trying to, help my back and everything with this anti-inflammatory thing. So I'm really, cut out dairy and all that. So that means basically anything on a Southern menu right now is off limits to me. So okra is good. Mike does make some good fried okra. So, you know, I'm not too mad about it. We have the best Mexican food here in California. The weather is good too. Yes, that is true. Um, Man, I mean, I'm telling you, if everything else wasn't the way it is in California, we wouldn't have left. We wouldn't have had a reason to, you know, but everything else is upside down, crazy clown world in California. So, and now they're closing Rubio's or a bunch of them anyway. So that makes me sad too. That was one of those places that when there was the first location was in Mission Bay in San Diego. And my dad and I used to go for bike rides in Mission Bay and we would stop and get fish tacos and he would tell me whatever Stephen King book he was reading at the time, he would tell me as like the kids version, like as a ghost story while we sat and ate our tacos. And we did that for a long time. That was like tradition. So I have a soft spot for Rubio's because it always makes me think of my dad. So I love a good fish taco. They go to San Diego during the winter. That makes sense. Okay, so that's why yeah, because I know they would always they would do an air show in the summer when I was a kid, and then they started when I was like a young adult, they started doing it in October. Um, and they moved the air show to October. So it must have happened at some point then because when I was a kid, it was like the heat of the summer, standing on the hot tarmac, watching the air show, like, the whole 9 yards. So it is what it is. Da 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 da. James Hall says, I don't know, Greg. I've had some good Mexican food in Texas. Well, I'll tell you this. We are very lucky because everybody was like, oh, when you move to the South, you'll never get good Mexican food again. We happen to have three in our teeny tiny little town, three really good Mexican restaurants in our little town. Now, not everything on the menu is like legit Mexican. Like some is Tex-Mex, some of it is like smothered hamburger steak, which is like a kind of like a Salisbury steak, and that's real popular. And like there's some like southern stuff on there, but you can also like on some of the restaurants you can get like a salmon salad, or you can get like street tacos that are like legit with like street taco salsa that like taste like you got them off the streets of Tijuana. And we do have a fair amount of people from Mexico and Latin America that live here because I don't know why they've settled here. Like, I don't know what drew them here, but they've stayed. And then we have a lot of people that do live in the area and then I guess some have started businesses and work in these restaurants because we have, a lot of migrant farm workers. So between the sweet potatoes and all of that, like they come down for the pickings and all of that. And like a lot of them just live here. So, and then they work at the restaurants and then they, buy work and whatever at the restaurants. So it works. We get authentic Mexican food that way. So, and it's also good because like this time of year, I can find all of like the ingredients to make certain things that normally they wouldn't stock, but they do because we have such a large, Hispanic population here. So it's kind of nice. I'm like, oh, you're making this Southern California girl feel like I'm at home in the grocery store with like all the stuff that I see in here. So it's good. Um, do they have burrito tacos? Yes. So nobody has like legit ones that are made from goat. They're all like beef, but they do have burrito tacos. Um, and then they have, chorizo and carne and pollo and all that. So, you know, give me a place that serves meatloaf and liver and onions and I'm in heaven. Oh my word. I think No Way Jose serves that. I think they do. So, but ironically, we have zero, like what I would say American style diners here, which I find odd. But we do have one place that is like, it's open kind of funky hours sometimes, but like we've gone there after church a few times. And they have, hey, are you expecting Ryan? Michael? I think Ryan's pulling up the driveway right now. Anyway, I have no idea, but that's happening. So great. Hey, no bark, no bark, no bark. Hey, 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 hey. Girls, girls, girls. Don't mind me while my whole world falls apart right here, guys. Sorry. Hey, settle down. Settle down. Anyway, um, he's gonna go see what's going on. No idea where he's here. Howdy from Hickville, Ohio, and we're not Hicks. It's okay to have a little bit of Hicks. Leon says, "Hey y'all, what's going on?" Okay, well, throwing them in there that doesn't really help, Michael, but that's cool. He just basically put them in the mudroom, which, if I'm out here doing a live, does not really help. But good for him, A for effort. Like, you know. Well, back night soon. Back at you. I have no idea. That's true. It is all live and it's a hot mess 100% of the time. Nothing goes as planned. Yeah. It's like it's a hot mess. It's all good. It's all good in the hood. It's all good. The farms, says Dano Piccola. I must have missed something there, Dano. I'm not sure what that's referring to. My dog's trying to find who's barking, says Auntie Anne. Oh my. Having kids and pets is like having Tourette's, talking and talking, then stop it, stop it, stop it. I know, it's true. It is 100% true. And then I'm the type of person that I will lose my train of thought real easily. And I get distracted very easily from, like, if I'm the one talking, I will get distracted very easily if there's other stuff happening. And so I will completely get derailed, like grind to a halt. If something happens, I'm like, I have no idea what I was talking about, who I was talking about, what was happening. I have no earthly idea. The Mexicans in the South. Oh yeah, the farms. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah. That's Roger. That's exactly correct. Good night, Carl Lewis, the man with the plan. That's right. That's right. I'm telling you. So yeah, and guys, I'm so like, I don't know. I guess I'm frustrated partially because, and I don't mean this to say like oh, like, or complain or whatever, but I'm frustrated in the sense that like there's so many things that I want to be doing or taking care of right now that because of everything going on with my back and hip, it slowed me down and I wasn't able to get some things done. And now I'm kind of like, now I'm feeling better, but I still have to be careful because I still have to wait till I talk to this other doctor to like find out the severity of everything and if there's a game plan or if I'm just going to be like raw dog in life now. I don't know. So I guess I'm just frustrated that like while I don't know how to like say it correctly here to get the sentiment across correctly. I'm not trying to say like, oh, poor me, like, oh, like, because the things could be so much worse, right? Things could always be so much worse than they are. And I know that we are very blessed, and I don't take any of that for granted, but we also work very, very hard for everything in our lives and the things that we do. But there's times when I'm like, ugh, I'm like, can't one thing just please do what I want it to do when I want it to do it? That's all. I guess that's all I'm saying. I guess I'm just having a little bit of a like moment because I don't like when physically I feel like I can't do stuff. And I've just felt lately that like that's really been holding me back from getting some things done. And so I find that frustrating. So, and then on top of that, like next week, Frankie's schedule, like I have to take her to school at 6:30 in the morning, several days because she's got all her stuff for FFA out in Starkville that they're going to be doing. So there's all kinds of like just weird schedule stuff next week. So it's fine. It's okay. Slow mode is okay. Give yourself a break. I know. And I wouldn't normally be as like turned up by it, I guess. But because we're about to have a lot of our YouTube friends here and, host this, I'm like, I want everything to be the way I want it to be. You know what I mean? Like, I just want it to be, because this is really like the first big thing that we're hosting. Like, we've had a couple, like, Tim's come by and David's come by and Chrissy, and like, we've had some of our YouTube friends come, but never like all of them at once. And that's a lot. And I just want, like, I don't want people to walk away going, like, man, that place was a dump. And like, man, like, they were terrible hosts. And like, we had an awful time. Like, I want to make sure like everything goes smoothly. But that's just like that's just how I am. I like my hospitality level is high when it comes to stuff. So I just like to have it all, running smoothly, I guess. So, I did, Dano. Yes, thank you. Dano pointed out that I had accidentally, when I added our PO box to Sippin' and Spillin', I typed it wrong and I never caught it, and he just caught it. I think I had an extra 5 in there or something. Anyway, I fixed it. So thank you. And I was like, man, because it's one of those things that you never really go in and adjust that stuff that much. So I was like, I had to remember how to go in there and edit it, and then I found it. But it was actually easier to find on my phone than it was on the laptop. So, but yes, I did fix it. Praise. So, that is right. Is this Charlene's first great grandchild? Let's see. Yes, I believe it is her first one. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it's her first one. Just because, it's got to be her first grade, because nobody else has had. Yeah, this has got to be the first great grandchild for her. Pretty sure. I would dare say I'm 99.9% sure. I hate to say 100% because I don't want to be wrong and like discount one of her already existing great grands if she has one, but pretty sure this is the first one. Well, at 55, I get aggravated with myself for not being physically able to do all the things that I could do 10 years ago. Yeah. Same. Same. They would never say that, Sid. I don't know what I said then. I don't know. It's east of them, near the state line with Bama. Okay. Oh, please. You know that we would never think that, Sid. I know, Auntie Anne, but I do. I have certain standards for myself when I throw a shindig, when I throw a roustabout, when I throw a shenanigan-infused libation celebration. I want it to be all the things that I want it to be. And when it falls short, or if it starts to fall short, I don't like that. So I really do try to like do those extra little things and think of everything. And so, yeah. But I'll be like, I don't want, I mean, like for example, the last couple weeks I've been meaning to get out there and start my process of like eliminating some of the ant hills that have popped up, but I haven't been able to because I couldn't walk more than 2 feet. And so I'm finally like, oh, okay, I could do that, but you can't do it in torrential rain. So like I have to wait till like I'm like, I can't, I'm like, I need to be able to complete a task. So that's where we're at. Frustration station right here. But it'll be fine. I'll get it all done. I always do. I will find a way to get it done. It's like, you know, I don't know how many times a day, a week, a month, a year that Jeff Goldblum whispers to me that chaos will find a way. Because that is like, it lives rent free in my head from Jurassic Park. Now, I know that he was talking about life finding a way and like procreation, but it also to me is like the chaos theory of within all this chaos, I will find a way to plow through and get my chore list and my stuff and my hot tamales together. Like this, you know what I mean? Like that's just my thing. So I'm just saying that's what I think. That's where I'm at. I will make sure that the fireworks don't catch the roof on fire. We actually are doing them very far away from the house. Because well, not very far away, but I mean far away. Like, yeah. Because I mean, we have more cleared area. And so, and we actually have a little hill and then it kind of goes down. So the fireworks are going to be like down the hill going up. And then we'll be like at the top of the little, and when I say hill, it's like a slope, but we call it the hill. And then we'll be able to see them. So it'll be far enough away from the house and any structures, but like it'll still be really close, but like we'll be able to like see it better, you know? Anyway, I still do the things I did when I was 25. It just takes me a lot longer and I usually need help. Yeah, see? They don't come across as being judgmental. All of the family is coming to visit and spend time with y'all. Don't put so much pressure on yourself. They all love you. I know. Thank you, M. Murphy. I know. And they're not judgmental. And I know they wouldn't, like, I could literally, if they showed up and I was like, here, I've got bologna sandwiches and like water, they would be like, cool, let's hang out. I 100% know that. It is 100% in my head. It is 100% my own doing. My own thing. But that's like the thing in me. In fact, I had to take a test at church that was like to help you find your like spiritual gifts or whatever. And one of my spiritual gifts is hospitality. And that's how I like to serve people is by like feeding them and like connecting with them through food and like making them content and like whatever. And so that's my thing. That's my jam. So, and that's one of the reasons why I like being involved in the pantry ministry at church because I like feeding people and making them happy and like, and I do the parade night for the Christmas parade. We have a soup night where we feed and serve everybody soup and like I'm in charge of that and like I absolutely adore it. And so I'm like already coming up with new ideas for next year and like how to make it better and like how to advertise it better and like get more people in there and like, so like that's just the thing that I like. But I also allow myself in the midst of my spinning of I enjoy it, I also have a few mini freakouts prior to just because I do. And also because it's Mississippi. You don't know exactly what the weather is going to do from day to day. I know it's going to be hot. I know it's going to be hot. It may also have torrential downpour like it did today at some point, right? So, like, I'm also trying to make sure that there's like this shady area and that shady area, and we're going to put the canopy here, and then we've got this, and like, I want to make sure that the shop is cleaned out on this side so that like people can come in the shop and like we can put a couple tables and a chairs and whatever, and people can hang out in there, and like also the overhang of the shop, like that's another area people can congregate, and then like, so I'm trying to like make areas happy, and that is what I am That's my goal. And the next big thing I have to do is the garage. I need to get in there and kind of organize a few things and get some stuff out of there and clean it a bit, because my goal is to be able to have it cleaned out enough that that's another usable space. However, there's some stuff in there that Mike won't let me touch, and if I can't touch it, then I can't clean it out. So it's like, the snake eating its tail. That's me right now. But it's fine. It's fine. So, fried bologna, American cheese, and mustard on white bread. Woo! Yep. My grandmother, my dad's mom, used to send him these fancy bolognas that like legit bolognas, right? They came in the roll and everything. And my dad would make fried bologna like English muffin sandwiches with them with Grey Poupon, because it was the 80s and everybody had Grey Poupon. Um, and that was like such a special fancy treat to have that, these fancy meats get sent to us and get to eat them, because that wasn't something, lunch meats and stuff wasn't something we had a lot because they were expensive. Um, so that was like a fancy thing to get. So, and it was always like around the holidays, so it was nice, or sometimes his birthday. So that's kind of cool. But that's what I always think of when somebody says bologna. I think of those, not like Oscar Mayer bologna in the plastic pack, you know. Oh, you're right. It's time for me to go. Blessed. Whoo! I get excited talking about things. I was looking at this time, not that time, because we got on here late. But anyway, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for hanging out with me tonight. I'm sorry the demon neighbor made his appearance, but we did have somebody apparently show up. So he had to go deal with that. Anyway, I love you guys. I appreciate you. And make sure you go check out MT Homestead later, and Brian from your farmhouse. And I think Full Blown Country's on right now since SLR is not. And I love you. And good night and safety off.